Good morning, everybody. Good to see you here this morning. Appreciate you continuing to hang in there, go down your journeys. Some of you guys are kicking butt, and I'd say most of them are kicking butt pretty good here. So thank you all so much for tuning in and taking this up on yourselves and riding down this road here. We've been slamming here. So we only have 10 minutes right now, and I think Chris, I don't know how he is, but I think he's at least 2 videos behind by the time you get this. We've tried all these different ways, and we're looking at this, trying to get this up faster for you, and I apologize, but we've been short some help there, and so we've got new help coming in, and so it should give Chris a relief there. I wanted to address this guy. This is Tangerine Groovin'. Yes, baby. This guy's a broken record. Now, I have to tell you, Tangerine Groovin', thank you so much. My God, if I can be a broken record and you guys get it, if you got that, Tangerine Groovin', you are in the money, because you now will be able to go out and make a good living and help the world change itself. And so, thanks for that. Appreciate that. You know, we were talking to Dimitri about that. Look, she set those oranges over there. We got to show.
They're huge.
They're huge. Yes. But look at these navel oranges. Look at those puppies. Now, those aren't bitter. Those are sweet. This guy had them in the back of his pickup. I was telling you about it on the last video. And I was going to make you some fresh orange juice, but incredible. You know what a lot of people don't realize is that, and everybody goes down this. Not everybody walks down the road straight. We all take sideways and byways and different paths, and then we generally find out that there's a dead end, and we come back to the main highway. And that's basically where we've been here. I've been down a lot of highways, from the beta-glucans to the MSMs to you name it, going way back 40 years. What I share with you is my experience and what I've seen going down these roads, like with B12s and all this crap like this. I've been down all those roads all these years, and this is the broken record. This is where it stops. So there's an old saying in life, is that you tell them, and then you tell them what you told them, and then you tell them again. And that's important that you guys get this. As simple as I've tried to make this, sometimes it still takes a little bit to ring in there. But I've tried to cut all the fat off of this and reduce it down to where a child can understand it, because we have to change our focus. We do. You know that. We all know that. So we have to change our focus here. So appreciate the comment. Good comment, too, because I hope I do sound like a broken record. That would be great. Oh, this is ankylosing spondylitis, arthritis in the spine, arthritis through the body, period. What is that? And I will, sweetheart, this is a kick. I will do that discussion on arthritis. We can add all the arthritises, the fibromyalgias, the lupuses, the Lymes. We can add all those things to the same mix here, and we will. And again, broken record, acidosis. Now, there's only 2 sides of chemistry and 2 major fluids of the human body. That's probably a broken record, but I didn't create it. But it's still, it's so simplistic, I think. I think it's so simplistic to understand. But to wear the robe and ride the ride, yeah, it's somewhat difficult. There's a lot of, ups and downs, emotional detoxes and stuff like that. Blueberries. But at least you got pretty thick for your money, Yeah, I know, it's a funky health food store, no offense to them. But, when you serve meat, do you see all the meat in a restaurant there? And it's like meat in a health food store? What the hell are you guys thinking? And then the candy bins? My God, I did candy bins in a health food store. I mean, you see that everywhere. Sweetheart, you do the same thing. You're moving your limbs. Because anytime you see pain, it doesn't matter what you call it. Or inflammation. That's all acidosis. And it's just location, and then there's a word on it, etc., etc., etc. But ultimately, all inflammation, all pain is a form of acidosis in respective tissue. And it's generally not from the blood. This is from the lymph. Blood, remember, we talk about how blood can't be acidic. You see what happens when someone goes on chemo, why they go now into a subclavian port right into the aorta, because all the veins, they've collapsed. I mean, when you start putting juice up a vein and you see the vein collapse, you want that juice in you? It's like, that's insane. I don't know where people are walking up and poor people just don't know they have an option, and et cetera, et cetera. No, I like that comment that someone made here about curing. Absolutely. Eliminating is a good idea too. I know. So you're right. I didn't know that Kevin Trudeau was in court a lot over that. He makes a ton of money, so maybe he can fight that like he should and go after him with the proper legal team, especially constitutional lawyers, and go after that in another way, because the AMA has to be stopped. But when we reference curing, I guess they associate it with diseases, etc., you know. So yeah, we do have to watch every word, and sometimes I do get carried away. It's almost gone, but which is good. But sometimes I do get carried away here, and we use those words because, you know, I'm one of those guys who just had it. I've had it with the corruption. I've had it with the AMA and you know, their narcissism and their tremendous killing machine here and their concept of diseases. And it's just like, after a while, you know, enough butchery. When you see child after child and person after person destroyed, you know, after a while, you know. But there was another question here I wanted to answer. I only have a few more minutes, and I apologize. Hey, Owen, this is Robert Dimitri. Hey, man. He asked me about daily enemas and oil pulling. We talked about oil pulling, you and I, the other day. And I think these are things that have come up here in the later years, and I'm really cautious when you're talking about oil pulling. Because when you're looking at astringents, put oil in your mouth and then put lemons in your mouth. Oils are, again, the most toxic part of plants, so you have to be careful about oils and oil pulling. I don't know how much oil has in pulling. Definitely an anti-inflammatory, no question about it. We use a lot of castor oil packs here, but in stat needs, I've had olive oil, any oil we could find, you know, as an anti-inflammatory. But as a puller or a detoxifier, I have to say that I don't think that that's going to be the case. Again, limited in the knowledge on that because I'm restricted with oils in my practice. I'm real cautious with that. I guess I kind of align myself with the FDA on that one. Got to be a little careful with the oils. I've seen people get real sick on oils, so I'm just real cautious is all, Owen. The daily enemas I'm definitely against. I don't think we need to go that route. That's why I like the herbs, because they get in and they do so far of a superior job at healing and cleaning and drawing. You know, water herbs. Now, my sister has the Klima board, you know, and we sold Klima boards for a while. And you can insert anything up there, but you're into the colon. And the colon really in the first part, of the last part of the colon, if you will, the sigmoid, the rectal, so there's very little absorption. And so, you know, you have to get way up in the beginning portion or the cecum and the ascending, but really, you know, you want to get in the small bowels. That's where 90% of the absorption is. Only micro traces and maybe some traces are down in the first part of the cecum and ascending bowel. But I don't know, Owen. I'm not really for daily enemas myself, and I really don't recommend them. I feel like there is a certain degree of innervation that can occur doing them. And we don't want to innervate, and we don't want to stimulate. We want to ride that middle path again, that powerful middle path, and then tissue repairs itself, and everything's good there. So that's kind of our look on that. The glandulars versus the tinctures, the herbal tinctures. Well, obviously, I'm an herbal guy, so I'm for that. In some of these more chronic cases, though, it just takes such a long time for the herbs to work and to really take this out of genetic slumbers that I like the glandulars in the sense that we seem to get more energetics to the adrenal tissues faster. So I think they're great as a short-term use. I don't consider glandulars long-term use at all. Short-term use to help awake and excite the cells definitely could be a good thing, you know. But again, it's involved in the meat industry and that sort of thing, and, you know, I don't know. You know, when you're a healer and you're looking around and you have all these very chronic cases, sometimes we have to make concessions, you know. But there's that old saying, there's a karma for every creature on the planet, including the animals and us too. So I don't know. Remember, nothing dies. Everything just moves from one state to another state while you're playing in the world of creation. Once you understand about consciousness, then that would get. But you could use both of them together too, especially if you're running real low blood pressure. We do. We run both the adrenal formula and the. Well, you polished that off pretty quick. Whoo-wee. Hey, Bo. This is. Oh, that was high sugar fruit. Hey, sugar fruit. Bo, thank you, Bo. Good with the mercury. Just keep pulling yourself out and going that route here. Magical Hummingbird, I love your name, sweetheart. I just love that. Love your look here. Appreciate the upswing on this. I do. I'm trying to keep adding the spiritual side of this and going. We've kind of been in a big move, and you know, all of us have been going through healing crisis. Jennifer can't even talk this morning, her baby, so we're all detoxifying, and it's like, good, we need to. Matter of fact, a lot of people are detoxifying. I got calls all night long last night. 4 in the morning I got a call, emergency call, and it's like, oh my God, so I got no sleep last night. People in healing crisis all over. Had to send one to the hospital. I mean, it's that sort of thing, you know. Very bad eczema, serious case, please help. Yes, my friend. Listen, definitely get into you've got to aggressively move lymph here because it's just breaking down your skin. Bad acids, you see how bad acids can get. I mean, they painful, they rip, they tear, they inflame. So, you know, they're corrosive. So really move your lymph. This is a broken record again. Thank God. Thank God this is so simple that it is a broken record. And that once this infiltrates the consciousness, wow, then you've got tools like you've never had before. Guaranteed. So really tear after this and go after your lymph system. Clean up your bowels, clean up your kidneys, get the adrenals up, get those lymphs moving. So you know the formulas that we deal with. I don't care what they are. You got to get in, clean up the GI tract, get all the sulfurs if you got them, get all the chronicness out of the bowels. You know, move that lymph, get the adrenals up, clean the kidneys. Someone was asking me this morning about sediment. What the sediment in the urine? I'm thinking, yeah, well, that's what we've been talking about all through these videos. You want to see sewage. That's what we've been talking about all through these videos. You want to see sewage. Let me see here. Do I have a chance to cure it? You have a chance to eliminate it. I learn easy, quick. Yeah. Now, I'll tell you, I've toyed with that word for years, and I'd like to cram it up there. But you know, they want to make that look like when you're using cure that you're treating a disease because you're curing from a disease, but you can cure from anything. You don't have to, you know, use the word diseases. But again, you know, we need a daily enema. Oh, excuse me, if anybody needs a daily enema, it's the FDA, the government, and the medical doctors need one every hour. Some of them are really great. I got some great friends as medical doctors, I'll tell you right now. But there's a lot of problems there. And my knees and elbows is wrinkled. I addressed this the other day. I apologize if you haven't got the video yet. Chris has been so busy here. We're at least, I think you're 6 to 7 hours behind on videos. I apologize. I'm doing my best to kick it out of there, but we're hiring some new people this week. And he ate honey with waffles, corn cakes and nuts. Now I'd cut them out, absolutely. You know, definitely if you're that chronic, you really got to focus on lymph work heavily and really get into that fasting and stuff like that. That's really important. Banana, thick. It's okay, like you said. I love the blueberries and I love bananas. I had a bunch of bananas this morning. I didn't get my oranges though, so if you don't get them, they might disappear on you. Yeah, Indiana banana, I can't type worth a crap either. You know, I passed that school. We're farm boys. Typing? French? What? That was maybe you. Well, you didn't even like French.
Yeah.
Right. How many years of French did you have?
9 years.
9 years of French! And you don't even use... I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Now that we know it's just a bunch of cells and two fluids, what are the major fluids? That's what I want to know. This is C. Basie. Hey, my friend. How are you, piano man? What do you think about Dr. McDonald? About what, I think it was Owen that addressed that with you, or one of them addressed it? That's about where I'm at with that. I think anything that grows below the ground, good for northern people, I guess, and putting on fat to have a little winter, warmth there. But in reality, starchy stuff to me is, this is like too much sugars, too many amino acids, too many fats. All those things it's just complex where the body is simplistic. So, I don't really get into starchy vegetables, and especially over the watery ones. Not at all. Again, carrots were one of the big fads way back in the early 70s, and did a lot of carrot juice fasting. And let me tell you, you put a carrot juice fast beside a grape fast, and there's just no comparison. Try them. Try a 10-day carrot juice fast, and then try a 10-day grape fast. You'll see the difference. No one has to really tell you about it. Everybody, again, someone mentioned this the other day that, there's a lot of theories and things like that float out of there and concepts. And I agree with that. There's a lot of concepts, and a lot of them, there's nothing wrong with them. Better than the omnivorous diet of man, absolutely. So, yeah, McDonald, okay at that level, but you guys that are another level, and this level is for the spiritual people. It's getting the head out of the earth and out of the ground and more in the heavens. And okay at levels. Remember, everything's at a level, so all these physicians work at levels. We just like the top of the mountain. We just like to be on the top. Not to be better than someone, but to get better elimination of man's ills. I just say illness, I said ills. Hey, iDog50. I did radio for years and years. I was invited on all types of shows. New York called me, some station in New York called me, had like 3 million viewers or something. And I said, well, how do you, because I was doing a radio show in Port Charlotte here for a couple of years, and our ratings went sky high because, this information isn't readily out there. And especially when I start putting people, and this is another thing, and hang in there. You see and hear how hard it's to find someone to come here and stick them on the air here. We're just that kind of busy here. So you see what we're up against here. But you'll get a lot more testimonies. But again, you have to be careful with testimonies. This is something we would love to do more of. But again, we don't want to, we want to get this club set up completely before we enter that too much because of the FDA. Nobody likes truth anymore on this planet. It seems like it's a hard nut to crack. Like, excuse me? I don't understand that. I don't know. I guess I know I'm a young guy. I got your message there, Babaloo. I understand it totally, but we go through our daily grinds here. Sometimes we just get really pooped out. Yeah. I'm not into radio shows anymore. I probably have a combination of about 3-4 years of radio shows, and it's like finding new material, because this guy said it right on the line. It sounds like a broken record. I don't want to get into the intellectual side of this too much. Because as soon as you do, you get, I have so many friends, and you're seeing that on YouTube. You saw it with Brandon. You see it with people and you're seeing it with David Wolf, and you're seeing it with a lot of people that have never went down these side roads yet. So now they're starting to go side roads, and we're going, wait a minute, come back here. But they don't know any better because they've never been down these side roads. And so they're just unconscious about that. But we've been down some of those roads, a lot of those roads. When I talk about I don't follow this, I don't do this, it's because we tried it before. For the most part, I've never done the oil pulling, but I'm not about to do that. Oils are, notice how taking an oil spasms the liver. So this is the problem. Too many oils, very toxic. Be very careful with that sort of thing. But if you want to do some pulling, use the Heal All tea. Or use some strong astringents. Use any lymphatic formula. Use lemons. That'll do some pulling. But greens, strong greens will do some pulling for mercury and things like that. But really, you want to carry all this down and out the lymph system, and do it that way. I think is a better way. But again, hey guys, have you found to be more powerful in detox a grape fast or a regular juice fast? Well, grapes to me, depends what juice you're talking about. I found the beet juice fast to rip me apart. I found the grape fast to be the best in terms of balance. I found the lemon juice fast extreme on pulling. Very powerful fast. I could only do 29 days, but you guys have already kicked my butt on that. Strong fast. Ask anybody that's ever done one. Very strong fast. So it's going down that way. Water fasting can be strong, but it's like we found your blood sugar at 41 on a fast. You can't have blood sugar at 41. So that's kind of scared the local nurse, didn't it? So we might have to call in the... But I'm sure you're used to running a little low blood sugar, and that just didn't bother you at all. But 41 is right on the But I think you probably carried it well. More on spirituality. Rohan, New Zealand. I will. I promise you, I will. I've been in a big move, and so a lot of work. Whew, a lot of work. That's when I was feeling old. I mean, I'm moving heavy furniture and all that with my son, and this guy's a 6 foot, works out, major body, big muscles, 6'3", and he was going to have some help, and he didn't have any help, and I'm already tired from moving because I have big, beautiful fountains, and I have a lot of heavy fountains and stuff that I have to move from the outside gardens, and that was a lot of work. And then I had to help him move the furniture, and I'm thinking, for a 60-year-old, I kept with that young man pretty dang good. Screen name required. I like that. Australian natives were some of the most spiritually connected. I believe that. I think if you look at the natives of most countries, they probably were very spiritually oriented. Look at the Aborigines and look at all these people very in tune. The Native Americans. The sad thing, I remember the Dancing with Wolves by Costner and stuff, and boy, to me that really depicted the consciousness of the white army versus the Native Americans. That just really brought it home to very poignant and pointed there. Is a white cloudy sediment in urine normal? No, and it should be. You should see a lot of sediment in your urine. If you're seeing that, Nora DeList, that's a good thing, sweetheart. That's what you want. You want to see a lot of sediment in that urine, contrary to what some people think. David Cody on Dual Survival is my favorite show. They're a pretty cool couple. She takes him and he takes her. He keeps on going. You ever see that Dual Survival show? You're from Switzerland. You don't know. Yeah. They probably go over there and try to survive in the Alps there. I'm on day 11, water fast. On day 9, I had to switch to well water, even though I know it's not ideal, but the filter water is getting my grocery store started to taste bad. Ugh. Yuck. Her own water from the grocery store is tasting bad. My urine has major amounts of mucus. Oh my God. Good work. I'm 5'11", 190, and I'd like to keep fasting until I'm in the 60s. You will. That's where I was. Kevin Patrick, that's where I was. That's probably when I started about 180, 185, and I got to 156. I couldn't break 156. I wanted to, but I just couldn't break that. And I thought, well, dadgummit. But then I look back at my picture and I looked pretty thin. I wasn't super thin, but I was fairly thin, and I should have been happy with that. But when you're going. You don't see yourself a lot of times. It's harder to see yourself sometimes than others. Lucky guy right there sitting. This is from a Sweet Girl 94949. Lucky guy right there to be sitting next to Dr. Morris. There you go, Dimitri. Lemonade. Hi, sweetheart. I missed a few of you and my knowledge as well. We love you, dear one. We love all of you. We do. I mean, I want us to be a strong, channel, and change the consciousness of this world. It needs it. We need to bring the power and the glory and the consciousness and the love and the respect and the honesty and integrity and all the things that some people think are funky. We need to bring it down and back to this planet. I don't know if it ever had it. It's possible. C1CSO, like your eyes there, I will not give up. Do not give up. Or I'm going to chase you guys down and get you down and tickle you. So you better not give up. This is high sugar fruit again. Adrenal glandulars. Sometimes he picks them. I love this. Look at this angelic being. I saw that person around you the other day. I'm telling you, you've got some spiritual beings around you. All of you guys do. This is FDSELG. Where is the visitor from?
Switzerland.
Switzerland! The Swiss! And their chocolates. Yeah, Dimitri's chart. It's amazing how you've got it. And he's torn between going to school and whatever. Hard to go back and get knowledge when a lot of it is just pseudo knowledge, So yeah, I know it. It makes it tough. I'm glad I don't have to make those choices. Thank you, Dr. Morse, for answering my question. This is T Makeup G. It means so much. Thank you. Well, thank you, dear one. Thus far, he purchased about one. Is staying diligent on his journey. Excellent. I kind of think, thank you very much. One of my goals this year is to take your course. Drew is fantastic. Drew loves that. I tell you, Drew feeds off of you guys liking him. He's such a good chap. And hey, this is, can I call you Izzy? Sweetheart, beautiful picture. Is that a beautiful flower you're smelling? See, I love these people. I mean, looking at her picture, I fell in love with her already. Look at that. Is that cool?
Yeah.
That is just cool. You might think up on the word eliminate. Yeah. Then they don't know whether you're talking about elimination or... Yeah. This is JOUZ. Thank you a lot for your comment there, my friend. Juice fast from the grape. Water fast now and going to move to a juice fast. Cool beans. You guys are just kicking butt. They haven't called us in here for the Skype. And it's 20 after. I wonder what's going. Yeah, let's see what's cooking on that one. Got a Skype I got to do here this morning, and we were only going to do it. Here's Regco. There's Simply Logic for double-blind study result. I love what you said there about that. So true. How are we doing? No?
You have to cut.
Huh? Yeah. We're 20 minutes after 10. So
where's she at?
she's ready to go.
Sure.
I need a video caller, yeah.
Oh, well, come in, Drewski.
I've been on the phone.
Oh, you've been on the phone. Oh, my God. I got to run. I've got someone sitting on a Skype, and we don't want to keep that lovely one waiting. Thank you so much. Hi, guys. Again, I just wanted to. I talked to this answered this one on bad eczema, but I didn't read on where it said, can you say which formulas to take in sequence? I bought kidney and lymphatic, but I heard that you have to clean up the bowels first, so I can't use them. No. And I wanted to get this on this video for you, and I'm hoping Chris is really getting these up. But no, absolutely, you take them all together. You go. You know, those herbs know where to go. Chemistry and that level knows where to go. So just take them all together. The kidneys will come clean, the bowels, everybody will come. It's so much better to do everything all together than if you take one formula at a time, you're not going to be happy with the results, I'll tell you. But when you're going after this, just like tearing anything apart, you wear the robe, you go down, you take them all, and you go. Absolutely. We take everything. It makes it simpler anyway. You don't have to think about it, and you just take everything together down the hatch and take off. So definitely take it all. Don't take one over another one. Keep cleaning. Even if you're a little malabsorbed, who cares? Just keep going. Because every herb you study has at least 10 different things it can do. That's the amazing thing about botanicals, is all the things that just one herb can do. Remember the old story with Dr. Christopher and lobelia. Someone cut themselves at a lecture, and no one had a hemostatic herb. And then someone said, well, I have a little lobelia, which was his little favorite one. I've used that to make people throw up a lot in the earlier days. I don't do that so much anymore. We find ourselves, but I used to make people throw up to especially those that can't breathe and full of congestion, and you know, I need a stat throw up. But it worked as a hemostatic as well. So it's the beauty of the botanicals there. But looking through these questions, I wanted to make sure that I got back with you there. The AUDRISUGONTISU. Thank you, my friend. Take on and keep going down that road. Sounds like you're doing well. Question you also had, I feel a lot of pain. Yeah, detoxifying has pain. Remember, pain comes in twice. That's when you're creating it and when you're eliminating it. The same pain, same symptoms. And this is the same thing with detox, with cold and flu-like symptoms, and the same thing with everything else. You create them and you uncreate them, and you have the same symptom both times. All right, guys, I really appreciate it. Thanks, Dimitri. And we'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.